I wish every Spa 2021 qualifying fun a pleasant evening. Hello guys, it's FRC 2011 season, round 11 of 17, and today we have a qualifying here in forests of Francorchamps. It's Spa-Francorchamps and the Belgian Grand Prix of Formula Racing Championship. Your commentator today is Pro, and today we have some changing conditions. Today we have rain, a lot of clouds, and no sun at all. Let's see who's going to be the best driver in these conditions as the qualifying session starts in a couple of minutes. Here's the weather forecast for Q1, and let's see who's going to be in top 16 after this interesting session. And let's go the first 18 minutes of qualifying, and everybody must stay focused, not because it's rainy at the moment, but also because it's the final race before the summer break, before the improvised summer break, and probably there are going to be some changes in the team lineups. And as we can see in the standings, some drivers are not looking really good in this first half of the season. And probably they're going to be replaced by somebody from a different team, or probably somebody from Lorena will get promoted to the main class. Okay, we have the first drivers, and we have Rosetta Martinez. Talking about his racing performance in the first half of the season, it was really good. He's now on P9 with 44 points, when his teammate is on P11, and for Cindy is on P5 in standings in the Constructors Championship. Adam Hiret was also looking really good this season, but as we know, he's one of the most unluckiest drivers this year. Daniel Fraser is the Ferrari driver, we already know it, and he's on P5. Also, he's shown us some solid results this season. Santin Drioli, also he's now P13, but he's behind his teammate Vucic Charmin. Then Berta Kieslin, Aditya Bagas, who is now fighting for the second position in the championship. Abovic, the 2010 world champion. Then we have Yuri Gabriel, also has won a race this season. Fernando Tost, Colin Chapman, Jake Tousley, Max Mikla, Erika Lebanekhanevsa, who won a crazy race at Albert Park, and Victor Aitken, then Alexander Arnold and Emil Nielsen, with Charmin, Lionel Messi, Jeffrey Blackwood, and Darabas Daniel, who could score a podium last weekend, but we know what happened to him. Beethoven also, I can't say that he has a lot of luck this season, but he still has a battle with his teammate Abovic. Both McLarens are on P6 and P7 in the championship. Then we have Samet Özkan with some crazy performance in the qualifying sessions at the beginning of the year. But let's see, as Fraser Martinez completing the first sector. Hidayat even faster than Rosetta, even if he's driving Lotus. But we know that Force India drivers are not really good at qualifying. They're much better in the race. They have much better race pace. We have Aboshin Gabriel completing the first corner, sorry, the first sector, and Rosetta Martinez is already going to complete the middle sector. And it's 124.442, but now here is slower. Then Fraser 123.8, then Andreoli Kieslin even faster by 0.2 of a second, Bagos 123.4, Abush 24.1, 23.6 by Gabriel, but let's take a look at our Force India driver Rosetta Martinez, who is going through the bus stop chicane, and then the main straight he comes and is going to be P1 of course, but his time is going to be beaten by one of these drivers. Dane Fraser almost a second faster than Andrea Liaptos third, Kieslin P1, the next one is Aditya Bagus even faster, P1 for him, above which it's going to be P4, and he's a second slower. Yuri Gabriel P3, then this huge train I guess, and Toast is going to be last. Chapman even slower, Tesla P9 and Smitler on P4, but he's still faster than Abovic with this traffic. Eric Leben Hanebusa P11, with rating P5, Alexander Arnold, it's going to be P13. Emil Nielsen, P14, and the Renault Wood Charmin is going to be on P9. Not bad. Lionel Messi, the second Lotus to complete the lap, but he's the slowest at the moment. Blackwood P11, Daniel P4, Beethoven P4, even faster than Darabas. Samet Özkan is going to take P11, and we have the first runs finished. We have Bagus P1, Kieslin P2, and Gabriel on third position. Erika Hanebus is also at risk of not making it into Q2, as the gap between her and Adam Hidayat is just 0.06 of a second. Also, it was a really good lap by Victor Aitken, who is now ahead of Daniel Fraser and Abovic, and he is located on P7. Yeah, we have huge gaps because of the changing conditions, and yeah, looks like the FRC drivers are not going to spin like the Formula Renault drivers did 2 days ago. But anyways, here come the drivers into their garages. And of course we have traffic on the pit lane, a huge traffic. But looks like the pit lane is cleared up. Here we go for the second wave of the flying laps, and we have Adam Hidet, who is now on P17 on the track. And then Daniel Fraser, Rosetta Martinez, Aditya Vagus, his teammate Yuri Gabriel, Abovich, Max Mitla, Berta Kieslin, Fernando Tost, Vuch Charmin, the HRT of Emil Nielsen, then Jake Tylesley, another HRT is Colin Chapman, P19 and P21 for the Spanish team at the moment. And yeah, let's just have an onboard with Adam Hidayat. He's going to be the first one to start the flying lap. And just look at these drops of the rain. It's raining very heavily at the moment, and looks like it's difficult to see to the drivers. Hida starts the flying lap, as he has a chance to make it into Q2 finally. He was really close to do that last weekend at Hungarian, but he was only P17. Will he make it finally into Q2 this time? Well, let's see, as we have 7 minutes left, and that's quite enough to do the best as he can. So he completes the first sector, but he is slower by more than half of a second. Looks like the conditions are getting worse and worse, and yeah, looks like it's impossible to improve. It's impossible to improve. Everybody's slower by half of a second. So I guess it's the Q1 over because of these conditions, and of course more aquaplaning, more water on the track. And the drivers who made a good first run are making it into Q2, possibly. Yeah, everybody is slower than their personal best by 5.7 tenths of a second. So it's impossible to improve the lap times at the moment. Probably if the rain is going to stop, something will help the drivers to do that, but probably it's already too late, and the only place where drivers will be able to improve is going to be sector 3 of their final lap. Hit rate is slower by 2 seconds, and slow as everybody else. Hopefully we will have no crashes at least. 1 second slower, Yuri Gabriel above which just 2/10 of a second slower than his personal best, but um, well, 5 minutes left. 5 minutes of a free practice. But we know that everybody is going to make it into the pits at the end of this lap. Yeah, just difficult to control the car in these conditions. And let's have on board with Lionel Messi. Yes, he's the slowest at the moment, and most likely he's not going to make it into the second qualifying stage. And yes, he's slower by 7/10 of a second. And yeah, that's qualifying over. Probably nobody will start another flying lap. And actually talking about the performance of Formula One and Formula One teams and cars. In Formula Renault, the fastest lap of the qualifying at Spa was 2 minutes 3 seconds and 430 thousandths of a second. These were the dry conditions. And what about the wet conditions, the heavy rain for Formula One cars? The fastest lap is 2 minutes 5 seconds and 425 thousandths. And the Formula 1 car is slower by just 2 seconds than the Formula Renault car in the rainy conditions. We also have Beethoven here, he is on P4, driving his beautiful McLaren car. And yeah, we have 2 minutes remaining as nobody is leaving the garage. It's officially the qualifying session over with no more laps. The first qualifying stage is over. And everybody is now in the pits. One minute left. And let's just have a look on the pit lane. 20 seconds left, and I think it's time to go for a 3 minutes break and see you later for the second qualifying stage. For now, we have Hidayat, Arnold, Nielsen, Tost, Chapman, and Messi not making it into Q2, and it was just 600ths of a second between Hanebus and Hidayat, so it was a really close battle for the Q2 seat once again. And yeah, it's time to go on a break. See you in a couple of minutes. It's time for Q2, this time 15 minutes and still a lot of rain. And of course everybody is going to be on the wet tires. Okay, it's time for Q2. And Fraser is already leaving his garage on his way to start and finish the flying lap first. This time rain is much heavier as it was in Q1. And as you see by the onboard camera on this beautiful Ferrari, it's very difficult to see anything. Right behind him there is Erika Hanebusa, Yuri Gabriel, Aditya Bagus, Sam Toscan and Darbus Daniel. Rosetta Martinez, Baked Oven, Vucci Charm and his team Santina, Andrea Litu, Rhino Drivers, Berta Kieslin, Jake Delsley, Abobovic, and Max Smidler. Then there is Jafar Blackwood, Victor Aitken, and that's all. Daniel Fraser is now going for the flying lap. And if okay, some kids advertisements time. As we're trying to find a commentator, if you want to be one, just contact us on Discord. The link is in the description. Fraser and Hanebusa already started their flying laps. They crossed the start-finish line. Dane Fraser going through the Arush Radion section, now down the Camel Straight. And he completes the first sector by 36 seconds and 49 thousandths. Erika was just 2 tenths down. The next was Yuri Gabriel, then Bagos Oscan 36.0, 36.2 by Daniel, and actually Oscan is faster than Daniel. Owen, Armin and Dreoli, but now let's take a look on Daniel's Sector 2 pace. As he completes it by 1 minute 20 seconds and 3 tenths. Erika is 5 tenths down. Yuri Gabriel 2 tenths, Bagus 20.1, and Bagus is the fastest so far. As we see, then Fraser comes into the bus stop chicane. And it's going to be 2 minutes and 573 thousandths of a second. Then it's Erika Hanebusa. Yuri Gabriel on P1, but Bagos even faster. Then it's going to be Samet Oskan, it's going to be P4 for him, but Daniel is ahead. Rosetta Martinez on P7, 1 second down, and Baked Oven might show us some good result, probably, and yes, it's P2 with a quarter of a second down. The next one is with Charmin, he's on P7, Satya Riley P8, two Renault drivers. Kieslin even faster than Baked Oven, and he's now on P2. It's going to be Jake Tilsley on P12, Abosh P10, and Max Mittler takes P6 with Jafari Blackwood, the Force Ninja driver, on P15. He's the slowest at the moment. Victor Aitken is on P10, and that's all for the first runs. And as we see, the Q2 times are faster than the Q1 times, probably because these conditions fit the wet tires better than the wet tires in Q1, but actually I'm not sure. Because the gap is like 5 seconds when the conditions are better in Q1 than Q2, but they are using the same tire compound. Probably just the game logic that we are unable to understand. Anyways, we have 4 drivers in the pits. And Abush was trying to overtake Jake Dowsley. Eight minutes left. With these rainy conditions, with these stormy conditions at Spa. But we are not a Formula 1 management to postpone or to cancel the qualifying only because of these conditions. Jake Dalsey is on P14 at the moment, right behind his teammate Erika Levanik Hanebusa on P13. 7 minutes left, and probably it's one more attempt for somebody to make a better lap, as we see Daniel Fraser leaving the garage first again on his way to start the lap. I guess he's safe from not making it into Q3 because he's on P5 and that's quite a comfortable position. And actually talking about Abovic, he's on P12 because of this traffic caused by Jake Talsley. As we saw, he was right behind the Sauber driver, and that's cost him a good lap. We already have 5 drivers on the track, and it's time to name all of them. Daniel Fraser, Aditya Bagos, our Q2 leader, Rosetta Martins on P15, Forsyth is on last places at the moment. Erika Hana was at P13, Charmian P9, then Victor Aitken, Yuri Gabriel, Oskan and Berta Kieslin, Santin Royally, Daniel Oven, and that's all for now. Daniel Fraser starts his lap. Daniel Fraser is completes the first. Daniel Fraser completes the first sector and he's by 15 thousandths of a second faster than his personal best. And yeah, looks like the conditions haven't changed. Going through Brussels, and well, we also have an Ebusek who is improving, Armin improving. Looks like not only the drivers are improving, but the weather itself does. Yuri Gabriel gets blocked by Victor Aitken, and looks like Dr. Marka is not going to be happy, even if Yuri is on P4. But no, looks like there is more water on Sector 2 as Fraser and Bagus are slower than themselves on the last lap. Unlike Rosetta Martins and Erika Hanebusa who are improving, the same as with Charmin, and looks like that's all. Gabriel and Victor Aitken ruined laps for themselves. Daniel Fraser is not improving, Bagus is not improving, but it's not important as we have Rosetta Martins improving, and he's now on P15, he must improve to make it into Q3. And down the main straight he comes, and it's no improvement. Erika Hanebusa is the next one, and she is up into P8 with Armin P9, and the next one to cross line Yuri Gabriel and Victor Aitken, but they've got their laps ruined. Berta Kesslin gets blocked by Samit Oskan, and it looks like both of them are not having a good pace on this run. And by the way, these are the final laps. Sentient Riley also might not improve, but let's see. He's now on P12. And of course it's very important for Abovic to uh, perform as good as possible. Daniel is on P7, Beethoven he was on P3, he stays on P3, Max Mittler who is on P6 is improving on both sectors I think, yes. And Abovic actually makes it up into P7 and he is still in the battle for pole position. Well, the drivers who are not making it into the next qualifying stage are Samit Oskan, Jeffrey Blackwood, Victor Aitken, Santino Andreoli, Jake Dasley and Rosetta Martinez on P16. That's all for Q2 and again see you in a couple of minutes for the third qualifying stage. The final 15 minutes of session are going to decide our pole sitter for the Belgian Grand Prix. We have 10 competitors and 15 minutes to set the fastest lap time possible in these heavy rain conditions. Heavy rain conditions here at Spa. And we did not see any surprises, sadly, like it happened at Singapore 2010 with changing conditions again. And at Singapore 2010 we had both HRT and Lotus making it into the third qualifying stage. And that was awesome. But now we have the usual drivers battling for pole, the same four teams, McLaren, Mercedes, Red Bull and Ferrari, and two different drivers like Eric Hanebusa, and the second one is Vucic Armin. Eric is looking really good this season with a win at Australia and 50 points in the championship. She is on P8, while Vucic Armin is a bit lower but still a good result. He's on P10 with 42 points. And the McLaren driver Beethoven starts his flying lap, the first flying lap in this session in key 3, and here goes. Just look at this dose of rain. And that's insane. 36.2 by Owen. And looks like he's going to have a battle for this P1 with Max Mittler. Or not, Abush says 36.0. A bit slower by 200ths of a second is Aditya Bagus. Your Gabriel, it's going to be 36.070. A bit faster than Bagus, so he's on the provisional second position. And Berta Kieslin 36.1. Let's take a look at the baked oven once again, as he is going to complete the middle corner. Sorry, the middle sector. Not bad by Baked, but surely he's not going to be on P1. Charming. And Max Midler is faster than Baked by 1/100th of a second, but Abovich is faster by 3/10. Bagus slower than Abovich, and he's still in second position. The next one is going to be Yuri Gabriel. Yuri Gabriel crosses the line, and it's going to be P2 for him, and faster than his teammate, and it's Red Bull 2-3 at the moment. Abovich still leading the session, with Berta Kieslin setting the fourth fastest lap time, but his teammate makes it up into P1. Daniel has done it up into P1. Rico Hanebus P8, Fraser P3, and that's all. Daniel's leading the session. Daniel has a chance to take the pole position. He already had a chance to do that at his home Grand Prix, but he ended up on third starting position. A great lap, 2 minutes 461 thousandths of a second, and as a result he leads the final qualifying stage. On P2 we have Abovich, who also was second in the qualifying for the Hungarian Grand Prix, and on P3 we have Fraser, who has got a pole position at Hungarian. So had Daniel Abovich Fraser. So we have Daniel Abovich Fraser right now, and um, last weekend we had the opposite, Fraser Abovich Daniel. And again on P4 it was Yuri Gabriel. Beethoven starts his final lap in this qualifying, and let's see how good is he going to be this time. Uh, right now he's on P8. And also let's not forget about our pole position battle, as we have Abovich on the flying lap. Then we have Berta Kieslin on P6. And then Daniel Fraser, and then Darabus Daniel. Beethoven completes the first sector, and he's faster than his personal best by 600ths of a second. Not bad, but still he's too far away from the battle for pole position. Approach is slower than himself, even than himself. Not even talking about um, the battle for the pole position. Berta Kieslin is the next one to complete Sector 1, also not the best result by him. Aditya Bagos, he's on P5 currently. Let's also don't forget about his battle with the championship as his rival. Max Miller is on P7, and he is also not the only one who is battling for the championship. Max Miller is faster than his personal best on Sector 1 by 1/10. Uh, uh, a good upgrade on his lap. And we have Beethoven already into the bus stop chicane, and down the main straight he comes, and it's going to be P7. He has passed Max Miller and he's faster than him by just 7,000ths of a second, but now let's take a look at Abouch. He was faster than himself on this middle sector, and now he has a chance to take P1, no, but just 17,000ths of a second slower than the Hungarian. Here comes Berta Kieslin, his teammate is still leading this qualifying. Daniel is still on P1, but what about Berta? He was not improving on both sectors, and actually he takes P5. Aditya Bagos. Aditya Bagos is now on P6. Will he get some more positions up? No. Max Miller P3. But actually no, P4 for him, as Daniel Fraser is the fastest. He takes P1, with Charmin up into P9, and Eric Libanakanebason staying on P10. Yuri Gabriel, the next one. Probably he has a chance to do that. He has a chance to only improve on his personal best. It's only P5. As here comes Daniel, he's faster than Fraser by just 100th of a second. Let's see what is it going to be. Who'll get the pole position? Is it going to be Fraser or is it going to be Daniel? Is it going to be Daniel or is it going to be Daniel? Daniel or Daniel? Daniel or Daniel? And now down the main straight. Fraser or Daniel? Fraser or Daniel? Daniel or Daniel? Darabos or Daniel? It's P2. And that means that it's a pole position for Ferrari, it's a pole position for Daniel Fraser. In this intense battle for the pole position, it's Daniel Fraser on the pole position for the second time in a row. Congratulations! And Daniel will have another chance to prove that he must stay at Mercedes. Anyways, that's all for the qualifying session today. On top 3 we have, as the last weekend, Daniel Fraser, Darabs Daniel and Aboba Abovic, but this time in a different order. Then we have Smitla, Gabriel Kieslin, Bagos Oven, and Armin and Eric Lebane Hanebusa. Outside the top 10 we have Oskan, Blackwood, Aitken, Andreoli and Tansley, then Martinez, Hidayat and Arnold, Nielsen and Tost, and starting from the last row, with starting grade starting from the back, Colin Chapman and Lionel Messi. That's all, and see you next time for the race 1 and race 2 of Formula Renault, again here at Spa.